Mexico. And I'm certain that each countries would have its own share of ways to do cultural exchanges, training, international competition, and so on, and also trading. So we were looking at Belize, for example. There's a lot of people very much interested, High Commissioner, in, for example, setting up small businesses. Now, when we say small businesses, we may have to give them some assistance. What do we mean by small businesses? Because some of them in Belize, for example, we think that everybody has to own, let's say, a small panade shop or a small garnacha shop or something like that that sells these fast food. But small businesses can mean various different things like industries, manufacturing, production, service industry. And as you know, Belize has taken a lead when it comes to the offshore banking, and there are certain constraints and restrictions to that. But your experience in working with Mexico, in working with Guatemala, and now you're here in Belize, I'm certain you've gotten a lot of ideas from governmental leaders about what are some of the priorities for the country. What would you suggest when you go back to Mexico and you speak with your government in India, and how would you project Belize as these are the priority areas that India can be of tremendous support to Belize?
Well, you mentioned about small businesses. The common term used for those is small and medium enterprises, SMEs. And I'm glad you asked me about it, because India enjoys a certain reputation around the world for expertise in this area. As you know, India is a very large country. Our industrial base was rather limited when we gained independence. Like Belize, like any other country, we wanted to grow very fast once we were independent. And our leaders, our policy formulators recognized immediately that for such a large country it was important to emphasize small-scale industries, so that industrialization can be at the grassroots level rather than being limited to the urban centers and major industries. And we have followed a policy consistently through all these 62 years of our independence of trying to promote small and medium enterprises. In the process, we have gained certain experience. And it has been another article of faith with India, apart from decolonization, or as a follow-up to that, to also share our expertise and experiences that we accumulate over time with similarly placed friendly developing countries around the world. So we have a very strong program, maybe among developing countries, one of the best and the biggest programs of sharing these with other countries. And our small and medium enterprises cooperation has been shared with a large number of countries. We are perfectly willing to share it with Belize, entirely in accord with Belize's own priorities and preferences. Right. And talking of that, let me say that not only in this sector, but in all sectors in which we have some expertise, we would be quite willing to share the experience and extend our cooperation to Belize.
Right, and again, the reason I asked that question, Excellency, is because a lot of us in Belize tend to feel that to open a small business is just fling the door open and yips, the business is on. It doesn't work like that. There has to be proper training, there has to be proper planning. You have to have some type of a business plan, a marketing plan in today's world. Not only saying, okay, I want to make some blinds, I want to sell tripods, I want to sell... It's much more than that. And I think that is where a lot of us falter. And secondly, to Excellency, a lot of us in Belize, as you know, government is the biggest employer, over 7,000 employees in the country of Belize. There are other large businesses that are also large employers, but still smaller than the government. So a lot of people tend to feel that, you know what, I'm going to get a job with the government. But it has to go beyond that. Government gets absorbed. It has reached saturation point when it comes to employing its citizens, and it cannot employ everyone. So my point that I'm trying to say is that government will be the force behind saying these are the initiatives, create the opportunities, and we as Belizeans would have to then say these are the areas we want to get into and keep that struggle and keep that fight. Just like how we struggle for independence, we have to struggle with the business and keep it going. So that is why I asked your point in regards to the training and how India feels about some kind of a training development program, like how Taiwan has a lot of programs going on, and it's really good. I know of several Belizeans who have gone to Taiwan and have returned, and many more, about 30-something, just went a couple of weeks ago to Taiwan to study in different fields. And so I know India is very far from us, but I don't think the distance should be any hindrance to cooperative agreements between your country and ours, and we hope that you could propel some of our ideas to the Indian government as to ways we can get assistance. I'm not necessarily elongating, but I'm only stretching the reason why we support those areas that I had mentioned.
I entirely agree with what you are asking me. In fact, that is the right approach. And your question is entirely legitimate and valid. I think what you want to ask is what we call entrepreneurship development. Along with small and medium enterprises that I spoke about, we also have a very solid base of experience in the area of entrepreneurship development, not only in governmental sector but also in private sector. We have a number of courses and training programs in India for that, which tell you how to get through the maze of bureaucratic procedures and also other requirements that are normally associated in anybody aspiring to become an entrepreneur, whatever sector it is, and also for any particular sector, they tell you about what are the specific steps you need to take. So that is available, and I offer it to Belizeans to participate in that. I should mention about India's Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, which we call ITEC, which has been there in place since 1964. It is extended to 158 countries around the world, mostly developing countries. But also, for example, in the case of Mexico, it's a member of the OECD, member of the Industrialized Countries Club. And we also offer this ITEC program to Mexico. And under this, Belizeans are entirely eligible to take benefit of that, travel to India, attend these training programs, and under ITEC, we, Government of India, pays for everything, including the return airfare, free training program, boarding and lodging, out-of-pocket allowances, as well as some local sightseeing and cultural tours within India. These programs are typically from 1 month to 3 months, so they are not very long periods. And these programs normally are administered through the government, at government-to-government level. So we offer these slots or programs to the government of Belize, in your case, and then government of Belize nominates whom they would like to send. Most of these people are from government departments, but these are not iron caste limitations. Government of Belize can also nominate somebody from outside the government, and we can also accept nomination from anyone outside the government of Belize.
Excellency Dinesh Kumar Jain, as High Commissioner of India to Belize, I will switch a little bit from what India has to offer Belize and how Belize can attain certain things from India. Therefore, then, my next point is this. Several opportunities have come up for Belize. For example, in the area of agriculture, in the area of fishery. As you know, Belize produces a lot of marine products. And then in terms of citrus, also sugarcane. Now we're producing some oil. So there seems to be some naturally good wealth within the country. And the reason I'm mentioning that is you visited us twice. And have you seen any existing area or maybe a new area where Belize can trade with India and say we can supply India from a business perspective with maybe more marine products, not necessarily, maybe more, what areas do you think, or what areas would you